Hey y'all, what's going on? You already know what we are here to talk about today, which just so happens to be the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8, Episode 19, The Reunion Part 1. And I am still just, my blood pressure hasn't dropped, I feel like, since watching this show. Hey. This was hard to watch back. Last night, I wasn't completely paying attention. I was paying attention enough, but I wasn't quite processing everything that was going on. So when I watched it back today, y'all, well, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it because we got a lot to talk about. I don't want to be up here forever, but a lot happened, but not at the same time. A lot happened, but then it didn't happen at the stuff that we actually wanted to see happen didn't occur. Anyway, please like the video on your way in. If you're a new subscriber, because I've been getting a lot of new subscribers. Hey, new subscribers. Thanks for joining the channel. I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things. Check the description box below for all my socials and my Amazon storefront. All those things are down below, and they're actually scrolling along the bottom of the screen as well. Hi, hey boo, y'all. You ever just like collaborate with somebody on something and you guys just like vibe just so well? Well, that occurred on Saturday with the one and only Bonnie Scotch. So let me go ahead and actually let me drop her link in the chat right now so you guys can go subscribe. We had a great conversation about the reunion looks. We talked about all the fashions, and my opinion on them still stands. So let me drop her link. Please go ahead and subscribe because she makes some amazing content over there. And like I said, we just collaborated on, she had me on her open panel, I should say, on Saturday discussing these looks. So please go ahead and subscribe over there. Tell her I sent you. But yeah, it was a lot going on. It was like accountability from Gizelle. That was missing. We got a lot of other stuff, but that piece in particular was missing, and it really pissed me off. So we'll discuss. Hi, Kimmy. Hey to my sis, Nola Breeds. Make sure you are subscribed to her channel as well. We actually went live on Friday. I need to give a big F you to Watch What Happens Live. They know why I'm saying that, but I'm gonna keep it cute. Nonetheless, we went live on Friday. That video will be back up in a few, but nonetheless, for now, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to my good sis, Nola Reeds. Drop your link. Yes, it was amazing. It was amazing. Definitely looking forward to more collaborations and talking about all of the mess and all of the things going forward. I just can't, y'all, with this show. So let's get into it. We opened up this part one. I watched the version on Peacock. I can't really say that I saw much of a difference, though. You know how we get the uncensored and we get a little bit more clips with the Peacock version? I can't say I noticed anything significant when I rewatched it today, but y'all let me know. So we see the ladies all getting there super duper early, which I found interesting because on some other franchises, I feel like they don't get there as early because they don't put as much emphasis on how they look during these reunions, but I'm gonna just leave that there. Gizelle was out first because she had the most, I'm gonna keep it cute for right now. She had the most simplistic look, we'll say that. So she was out there first. No one really cares. Did y'all peep how she looked though? Did y'all peep how she looked when she asked Andy, oh, who's sitting here in the first chair? Whose seat is this? Right here. Miss Mama felt a way, honey. Like, look at her face. It was giving very much, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. All right. Yeah, that's my seat, but I'm gonna back down. I'm back down, but I'm gonna remember this. That's what that look told me, but who cares? We know why you aren't sitting there, and let this be a lesson. Do you guys think that this will be a lesson that she, kind of changes her ways going forward? We don't think so, right? Okay. Just want to make sure we were clear on that. So as the ladies are, trickling out and everything, Andy saying his highs and all of that. Again, I felt the exact same way about these outfits as I did when we did that live. So we don't even need to go over that. So Andy decides that he wants to set an intention during this reunion. He wants them to, find a way to forgive each other, to move forward. And, I don't know if he was trying to make kumbaya happen, but I'm like, did you forget what cast you're talking to? Like, did he think that we were in Miami or Salt Lake City or New York, Orange County? I think that he had a bit of amnesia in that moment, because he couldn't be serious thinking that certain individuals on this cast were going to be so willing to do that, especially when he plays his part in not holding those individuals accountable. Yeah, I got a couple things to say to Mr. Andy Cohen during this review, y'all, just so you know. If you're a big Andy fan or anything like that, just so you know, we'll be diving into his as well. So Mia, no one cares that your dude is known as a radio personality versus a DJ. He's going to be whatever he's going to be, because I don't even really want to see him on the show, to be honest with y'all. I would really enjoy seeing Mia just be single next season and just doing her own thing. We could see her on some dates here and there, doing, her thing. But instead, I feel like they're going to try to bring old boy into the fold. And I don't care. Do y'all care? Do you guys actually want to see, what's his name? Ink? Do you guys actually want to see him next season? I don't want to see him. And at the same time, I don't really care to see Mia and Gordon going back and forth and having a whole drag out nasty divorce or anything like that, because honestly, y'all, Jeremiah, the kids, they're the ones that suffer in that. They're the ones that are going to grow up and see all of this. So I really don't want to see that either. Again, I just would rather see Mia be single, doing her thing, living in her penthouse, and that's all we need from Mia. So we, of course, have to begin with like the only thing that the women agree on, which is sex. So we get this whole montage of them talking about, sex throughout the season and all of that. Don't really care. And I really especially didn't care about revisiting the whole Ashley holding Michael's bitter seeds in her mouth for prolonged periods of time. I could have did without that. I could have did without that the first time we brought it up. But for some reason, we need to add in all these little conversations. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And you know what else I didn't understand, y'all? I didn't understand why Ashley's like hair, head, wig, like I didn't understand why all that was sitting as high as a box Chevy on her head. No idea. And by no means, I just got into wigs, so I'm still over here trying to figure things out myself. However, I know that I don't want my head to look like that, and if my head is looking like that, one of y'all better tell me, because what is going on up there? It's as high as the Empire State Building. Like, oh, okay. I'm not going to subject you to seeing that any longer. I'm gonna take that down. Hey, sis. How are you doing on this lovely Monday? You feasted very well yesterday, and my mouth is still salivating thinking about all of that seafood. I want some crab legs really bad right now. Really bad. I don't want to think about Mr. Brown and me attacking either. I don't really care about anybody's sex life up there too much. If I had to pick like one couple, actually, I'm not even gonna get into that, y'all. I'm not gonna get. You guys could probably guess who I was thinking about, but anyway, not she rubbed Michael's. See, this is what I'm not gonna do today. You already know where I'm about to tell you to go. Okay. You already know where I'm about to tell you to go. I can't. Okay. I can't, because if I be in the comments too much with y'all, we're going to be here all night, because y'all really be cutting up in these comments and I can't take it. Nonetheless, so Andy starts things off again with asking the first viewer question, which goes something like, why did you have to pause so long, Karen, when you were asked how many sexual partners you've had in the last 5 years? It was Robyn trying to speak up and attribute the pause to Karen not remembering how many sexual partners she's had, meaning like it was more than just Ray, you know? And I really, it really fed my soul when I heard Karen crane her neck over to Robyn and say, no, Robyn, actually, that would be Juan. Actually, you're getting us confused. You must have amnesia as well. It was a very subtle shutdown, but it was a shutdown nonetheless. And that is why we go up for the Grand Dame over here. Just chef's kiss on that one, y'all. But we dive in a little bit further with Robyn and the details of her marriage. I guess you could say marriage, right? Marriage. All right. And they play the corresponding montage and all that. And when she's asked if she still stands by the fact that Juan never cheated on her with the Canada girl or Coach Bree or the school, the kids' homeroom teacher, or the lady down at the grocery store, down at Kroger's, or has he ever been with Robyn's cousin or any of those people? This lady really parts her lips to say, well, I can't say anything for certain. I wish, and I was supposed to make a graphic for that, but I forgot to do so. So this was me. This was me in that moment. Because she has so many reasons to believe what he's telling her. I'm glad that everybody chimed in, and by everybody I mean like everybody besides like Gizelle and whoever else. They chimed in to be like, yeah, we don't believe that, because it doesn't make any sense, y'all. It makes zero sense. Zero. What are you guys saying? Karen will defeat her every time with little to no effort. That's the thing. Like, Karen does it and it doesn't give bothered. It doesn't give pressed. It doesn't give any of that. It gives like, she just keeps coming up. It gives like Robyn's like the little chihuahua, like biting at Karen's ankles. And Karen's just like, like you just kicking her out the way a little bit. Just a little, just get out of here. Like when you're swatting a gnat. That's what I picture when I see Robyn and Karen. That's what I picture, y'all. It's not cheating if you I mean, that's what it is. And I'm glad you said that. Y'all also subscribe to my good sis California Cootie as well, because me and her are like this close to that 500. So please subscribe to my good sis. Any new subscribers? I see there's 19 people in here right now. Please, if some of you guys are not subscribed to my good sis, please do so. Drop your link. Everybody drop their links in the chat. Everybody, we subscribe to everybody over here, okay? Coach Bree is a baby Karen. My aunt did not lie. Do I still have the picture? Oh, yeah. Oh, look. There's the baby Karen. There she is right there. Look at her. Y'all, how many people feel like Coach Bree looks more like Karen than Raven does? Because I damn sure do. But anyway, we just had to, sprinkle that up there just in case Robyn forgot, right? Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, I love Bonnie's content too, y'all. Again, subscribe. Oh, see, so much love in here. I love it. Yes. I thoroughly enjoy when Jeremy gets on the girls as well. I love it. Oh, I love it. It really is, though. It is crazy. Where were we? So, yeah, Canada girl, she doesn't believe any of these things because she is okay with being the wife who's really the other woman, who's really just the roommate, who's really just the person that helps keep his life, in order and stuff. There's no romance between them, y'all. You can't tell me that there is. So when she said, yeah, we're best friends, we're supporters, we're all these things. Yeah, I believe that all of the things that you guys are to one another are just strictly platonic. I believe it. It gives the economy is in shambles right now. Rent, mortgages, freaking interest rates are so high right now. It's just easier for me to live here with you, make it seem like we're, in a marriage, but not really, just call it a marriage, but I'ma still do me. But it's just easier to split bills, or not even split bills, because I ain't got no job right now. It's easier for me to be here sometimes and give that appearance and then still do what I got to do. That's how I see it between them. And shout outs to my good cousin Ranching with Ricardo. I thought I was the only one that noticed that Juan doesn't ever look at home in their house, y'all. He never looks at home in their house. I thought it was just me, but he never has on any house shoes, a robe. He always looks like he just dropped in there for the 2-second scene real quick, and then he's about to chuck up the deuces and be out as soon as they, wrap that scene. Does anybody else feel like that? He never looks like at home. It's weird, but he's a weird character. So anyway, moving on. Gizelle does ask if it bothered her that Juan had referred to the coach as a beautiful woman. Robyn says no, because that was said in order to highlight the fact that had it not been a beautiful woman, no one would care. Yeah. Whatever you say, Rob Job. And the only thing that I really can say I appreciated during this segment from Andy is when he chimed in on that part and was like, so wait, Juan's not here, right? And he doesn't have a basketball game or anything going on? And Robyn said with her full chest, no, he does not have any basketball games going on. He declined to be here. And I felt like at that moment, if I was a part of the network, that would have been all I needed to finally put that sealed pink slip right under her dressing room door. Because it's like, I feel like she almost trolls, she trolls the network, really. It makes them look like the fools, really, because it's like, why are you keeping somebody on the cast for this long that gives absolutely nothing? Everybody else's husbands can show up, including G, who we don't know if he coming, going, or what's going on with them right now. But even in the midst of their crumbling marriage, everybody else's husband can show up, but Juan Dixon is not here. But at the same time, ultimately, who really gives a fuck? Because he wouldn't fess up to anything, even if he was there. But I love how Wendy was like, yeah, so he knowingly didn't come, knowing that shots were going to be fired at you, and he wasn't even here to have your back with any of that. Like, and she's like, no. What are y'all saying? It's just crazy to me. I don't believe Juan Romero undercared since their last son was born. Juan is definitely getting it in. I just don't believe it's with the other person that's in that house. Robyn gives me like she holds the door she goes and unlocks the door and holds open the door for whoever to come on in, and they do whatever, and she like that's what it gives. Or she drops him off and picks him up. That's what she gives me. It's just Juan, he is definitely a visitor. Yeah, I feel like that's the only reason why he showed up to even a half of these scenes this year, is because, yeah, he didn't have a job. This was their only significant check going in that household, and it was really just to get people off their backs just enough. But if the rumors are true, y'all, I guess it wasn't enough to keep her on the show. So who really cares? Who really cares? What was also revealed is that they don't have each other's passwords. And I'm not going to say that that's just a complete red flag, like for everybody in the population or anything like that, but it's definitely a red flag for their relationship, because you're saying that he's constantly purging the information and all types of stuff on his phone, and y'all don't even have the passwords, and he's super Mr. Nice Guy, and like it's just everything she says about that man gives red flag. 1 second, y'all. It is hot here. Let me turn on my fan. I hope y'all don't hear that. But these lights are definitely hot right now. I'm sorry. Moving right along, y'all. Moving right along. When asked if, they still have doubt about Juan cheating and all of that, Candiace, I love that she spoke up in this moment. And she was like, her issue wasn't about him actually cheating. Her issue was about Robyn not expressing to the other ladies, to the group, what was going on with her marriage, but instead she was putting demands on them to show up and discuss what's going on in their marriages and their lives or whatever. And Robyn tries to defend herself and say, like, when did I demand anything from y'all? And I love the example that they brought up from last season, where it gives just another shining example of how Robyn always has something to say about what Karen does, or about what Karen and Ray's marriage has going on, or she takes any opportunity to poke at Karen. And that's why later on this episode, I was so glad when Karen got her together, because it's like, you poke fun at me all the time, but then you expect me to have your back or double down on some stuff to support your side of stuff? Absolutely not. Robyn's delusional. I thought she was just mainly delusional about her marriage and stuff, but no, the lady is delusional about so many things in life. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. How old is Robyn? How has she been getting by this long in life, functioning the way she does? I'm genuinely concerned. For real. Love how Candiace brought up the paywall. Robyn wanting to keep herself behind the paywall, aka Patreon. Love that, because that's exactly what she did. it was so much in this episode, y'all. Like just so much gaslighting, pain, playing in our faces, all of those things. And I feel like it was up to the network to put a stop to this a long time ago, but they didn't. They didn't. And that's why it's grown to be such a big issue on this show, because they didn't step in and say, yeah, enough is enough. You guys are accountable for this. You guys are accountable for this. This is how we need to go going forward. We need to make it enjoyable to watch again, because right now, to Jeremy's point, I couldn't even review it this season because it's too much. It's a lot, but nothing at the same time. So I can't even feel away when I see y'all saying, you know, that you don't want to watch this type of stuff anymore, because it's very unenjoyable and it's kind of insulting our intelligence, because we're seeing it play out. It's not like we don't see it all play out on the screen. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Moving on. Robyn bringing up Ray's tax issues. I love how Karen said that a credit card receipt is way more important than the Washington Post or whatever, because it really should be. And Robyn, you're not going to sit here and act like you don't know where everybody's coming from with this type of stuff, because you were the same woman that was. I don't think I got a picture, y'all. Oh man, I don't have a picture of this, but we all remember her kicked up on the curb crying her eyes out. We all remember her calling him for, I guess, support or whatever, and her not receiving that at all, and him hanging up on her. He doesn't like that lady. That's what it gives. Anyway. So, moving right along. How did you guys feel about Candiace's poster boards? I get where she was trying to go with that. But, I mean, maybe it's because it was blurred out. I don't know. But maybe it would have landed a little bit more had they not been over there trying to play in her face. And by they, I mean like the GBs of it all. Because they're the type of people that they're going to pull apart and pick apart anything that Candiace or someone does if it shines light on how they were in the wrong. And we saw that throughout this episode. Whenever Gizelle said, "Oh, we're calling names now, or we're saying names now. Gizelle is a da-da-da, Gizelle is a nymph, Gizelle is raggedy." Like, all those things are to bring the other person down and make that other person look bad. That's kind of how gaslighting works. Whereas they're the ones on this side that actually initiated everything. That's where things kicked off with this side. I'm pointing to the GBs over here. They're not here, but y'all over there. They do anything they can to shift the focus. They're not gonna throw the other one under the bus or whatever, or actually admit when the other person is in the wrong, which is much of why Candiace is so upset. It's very bothersome. Oh, I love it every single time. Like, that's the only thing that I could really say is thoroughly enjoyable through and through about this show. This season's horrible for so many reasons. They need an axe and a drawing board before they come back to us with this BS. Because as you guys can see in the comments, we're over it. Candiace's poster boards fell flat because they wouldn't let us see them and they were gaslighting her. Yeah, like I feel like if we could see them, if they hadn't bleeped out that name, that we already know what name they're talking about, because if you know, you know, then we really could have dove into it and it would have been a lot more enjoyable. But you see how they even edit her, Darby and Candiace? They bring up all of her negative stuff, but when it's Gizelle, we only get a sliver of anything that she said, or the beginning of a conversation and not the end, or whatever. And then we have Andy down here who wastes no time asking Candiace all these follow-on questions and telling her that she's a disaster on Twitter and all of this. But then when it comes to Gizelle and her part in the matter, he doesn't crane his neck the other way. Why is that? I mean, it's like a rhetorical question because we know why. Yeah, it didn't, but I saw what she was going for, and I still understood the message of it all, but we always gotta, of course, talk about the props. Like, what bothers me so much are the white and Hispanic fan base that bash Candiace and Wendy and uplift Gizelle, and they don't even support Black casts. Let me pin that, because literally, and I spoke about this. It's the worst on Facebook too. Like, oh, it is the worst. And actually, I'll share what I wrote in a Facebook group last night, because I knew that they were waiting to pounce on a lot of this. It's ridiculous. Hey, Kenny, how are you doing on this fine Monday? Gizelle was so bothered from that moment Candiace got on stage, for real. And I love when Candiace was like, ain't nobody out here. Gizelle was technically out there, but she ain't nobody. Yes, they did. They definitely favor her, and we see it. We call it out, and instead of them fixing it, addressing the issue, they just tell Candiace that she was wrong, or she started it, or what about her part in it? How does that even make sense? Is there anything else I want to point out in this segment? Let me see. Gizelle's not mad at all about the bloggers and all of that thing. That just is another example, y'all, as to why I just said the GBs are always going to be in cahoots with one another. Don't expect to ask Robyn something about Gizelle and expect her to support whatever you're trying to say. She's always going to side with her. That's just how it goes. I don't think there's anything else I really wanted to talk about, except for, when I think it was Andy that asked, like, how are we going to move forward or whatever. Y'all supposed the same question to Robyn. So, of course, we know that Candiace is emotional. Nothing's new, y'all. It's been, how many seasons has she been on now? 6? Like, she's emotional. It is what it is. So I'm not understanding why Gizelle needed to be like the childish little girl that she was and starts clapping and talking about not tears. I was so glad, especially on the uncensored version. I'm really going to miss the way that Candiace emphasizes her words and stuff. Oh, they just reverberate through me every single time, because that F you that she said 3 different times in the Peacock version. Oh, I was like, say it again. And that's maybe that's just me. Maybe because not up here. I'm working on it in real life, y'all. But yeah, I do curse a lot. So I don't know if it's military me. I don't know what it is, but I be cursing a lot. So maybe that's why I don't ever see anything wrong with the stuff that Candiace says. Or maybe it's just because the stuff that she says, like she said on this part, is said in response to something that was said to her first. Why do we keep starting in the middle? I don't get it. We start in the middle every time. The goalpost is always moving. And Andy, instead of genuinely holding Gizelle accountable in that moment, you just craning your neck just the slightest bit over to her to be like, well, that was kind of mean. That was kind of mean. But no holds barred when you need to call Candiace out about her being, a disaster on Twitter. Let me catch up with y'all in these comments. Candiace was getting on my nerves too. She was getting on your nerves because like she was still being like emotional over it, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that made my booty itch for a lot of this season. Every single time Candiace would get emotional or like be super dead set on everything with Robyn and just continuing to try to throw that out there and mend fences or talk about how they were just so good friends and all of that stuff, that did get under my skin a lot during the season, because I was more so because they don't see it for you. They being the GBs, or in this case Robyn specifically, they don't see it for you, so stop extending yourself. I wish that she would have took the kid gloves off a long time ago, earlier than even this season airing. Like, I never felt like, definitely Gizelle, she's not a friend to anybody really, except for Robyn. She's not a friend to anybody except for Robyn. And if the other ladies on that cast can't see that by now, good riddance. Oh, the ratings tank and the show gets canceled. The sad thing is, I don't think it is. Why is it so hard for her to articulate her point that are so easy to make? Wait, are we talking about Gizelle? Because that's a lot of why Gizelle is so upset towards the Candiaces and Wendy's of it all. Like, don't be mad at me and say that my mouth is just so terrible and I say all these nasty, crazy things when you're the same person that says all the same nasty and crazy things. And just because you don't say it in the form of a curse word or a certain outwardly derogatory phrase, the things that Gizelle says are still 9 times out of 10 are still very inflammatory, are still to add some extra sauce on some stuff. She says some crazy wild stuff out of her mouth, but just because it's not packaged in the same package as Candiace's words, we can only then go over here and look at Candiace. Oh, Candiace, you're so bad. Oh, Candiace, your mouth is so bad. Like, no, when Gizelle says this even worse stuff, and I say even worse because, again, Candiace usually is only saying something in response. I mean, I wouldn't either personally, but we know she's a crier. I wasn't surprised when she asked for a tissue. I just take her as she is when it comes to that, y'all. Ooh, I'm getting behind on these. I'm sorry. I laugh and smile and cry on this time, but I never give my enemy. I mean, me either, but you don't understand. Maybe that's why I turned my fan on, because I was thinking about how hot I got when she started doing the over-exaggerated claps and like trolling, basically. Wait, what did I miss? You were. I'm a Marine, sis. It's just crazy to me. Oh my God, you're a vet too. Oh, I did not know that. See, we see each other. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want Gizzard and her water retaining ankles gone. The sad part is her karma gonna come back on the kids of hers when they run into the mall in pure form. And that's the thing. I don't know how to phrase this with I mean no ill intent when I say this, but genuinely I'm surprised that when she says that they were getting all of these threats and stuff like that, I genuinely was surprised that it, according to her, I guess this has never happened until Candiace said what she said. I was genuinely surprised because I'm like, you've been being so disgusting for so many years. Like, I'm surprised the way that people act up online. I'm surprised they haven't been on your ass seasons ago. That's not me condoning those types of things, y'all. Don't get me wrong. You understand what I'm saying? I'm surprised that didn't occur, though, a long time ago, because to my point that I made earlier, she be saying some wild stuff and lying on people and causing people to lose jobs. I don't know either. I did too, because I knew, especially with her apologizing first, I knew that they were going to then turn to Gizelle and she was going to give nothing. You apologize for the sneaky link comment. That was like only the tip of the spear. We wouldn't even be in the situation right now if you hadn't parted your lips just to say what you said last season. And I don't even want to say it again because I don't even want to breathe life into those rumors again, because we saw how uncomfortable Chris looked for the majority of this season. And Chris has his stuff with him sometimes, and I don't always agree with him about everything that goes on between him and Candiace, whatever, but that ain't my marriage. So ultimately, who gives a fuck? What I do give a fuck about, though, is the fact that we would not be in the boat that we're in right now if it wasn't for Gizelle throwing the first shots. I think Candiace only apologized because she was pressured and knew if she didn't, they would make her look like she doesn't want to move forward. Yes. So I understand that. And if by now people don't understand that it is this side over here that's not wanting to move forward, and you, again, GBs, it's completely this side that doesn't want to move forward. And we saw that when Candiace apologized, and then Robyn goes on to be like, oh, well, if I'm so bad, if I'm so this, if I'm so that, then you shouldn't even want to be my friend. She used her as a scapegoat in that moment. I can't say that I would have either. Even though, again, to Jeremy's point up here, I can understand that if that's the angle she was approaching it at. I wouldn't have apologized for a fucking thing. Y'all can call me childish if you want. I don't care. It is what it is. I've been called worse. They've been trying to get us out. When they got Monique out, it was an or. Let me start this comment too, because I didn't review season 5 or ever, wasn't even thinking about being up here back then. But that is another significant point as well. And I wish honestly Candiace would have took off the gloves and kind of opened her eyes to some things back there then. Gizzard sets up not diabolical. Oh, I've been hearing that word all day. But yes, Gizzard sets up diabolical attacks and then gets mad when she gets up. Yes, she sits over there with her ass on her back, looking so mad, looking so sad, looking all of the things, when we wouldn't be in this boat if you didn't open your mouth the way you did in the first place. And it's not my fault you can't hang with the big dogs. It's not my fault that you left your reads at home. It's not my fault that you showed up bland. It's not my fault that you showed up basic. It's not Candiace's fault. It's nobody's fault but your own. You can't throw shots at somebody and then tell them how to come back at you. Because if you throw shots at me, I'm taking it to the South Pole every single time. Every single time. We don't. I've been going back and forth with y'all. I don't even remember where we at. We're just gonna talk. We're just gonna talk at this point because so many points are being made. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. And to wrap things up with Robyn and her supposed marriage, y'all, in the end, hopefully the rumors are true and she's not coming back anyway. But in the end, I ultimately don't care, because if y'all didn't know before now, y'all know definitely after last night that Robyn is sticking by her man. They've been in this thing for 28 years or in each other's lives for 28 years, I should say. And relationships go through ups and downs, and they're just going to thug it out. And she's riding till the wheels fall off. They said they're going to be a family, and that's just what it's going to be. And y'all know I always say up here that I'm never going to go harder for somebody than they go hard for themselves. Y'all know what I'm saying. If you're not trying to go hard for yourself, then I'm not. What do I look like going up for you and trying to open your eyes to So she wants to believe his truths. She wants to think that there ain't nothing wrong in their marriage. Let her think it, y'all. Let her think it. Let's at least take that out of our minds. That's one less stressor on our minds, because she's cool with it, ultimately. And you're talking about relationships go through highs and lows. Well, why the fuck have we only seen you guys going through the lows the last 8 seasons? As someone who's been in several relationships, as someone who's married, yes, you do go through ups and downs, highs and lows, however you want to put it. But when you guys are always in the pits, somebody in the comments in particular is going to love when I say this. Especially before y'all got married, if the red flags were red flagging, then if y'all were always at the lowest points, then you shouldn't have got married. 1, you shouldn't be in the relationship. 2, and 3, that's a sign from the universe that maybe this isn't my person. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And this is actually a conversation I had recently with somebody. Like, you shouldn't be entering into partnerships that serve you no purpose, really, because what are you getting from this? You're talking about he supports you so much. I don't see his ass up here on the stage next to you or behind you or anything like that. To Wendy's point, you're always up here taking all the shots, and he literally embarrasses you in front and behind the camera. So please explain to me where the high points are, because you be looking so goddamn dreadful all the time. And to a degree, do I just feel like that's how you are? You know, Robyn's a very show up how you are. She's a very, I just woke up and I'm here and I'm just gonna put on these house shoes and go. That's what she gives a lot of the time anyway, you know, very shabby, not chic. So I understand that, but you look like a beat down dog every single time we see you. And one can only think that, this probably has something to do with your roommate. Moving on. I'm so far behind on these comments, y'all. And I know y'all said some good stuff, but lows. She likes it. I am in love with it. Do you? Go off, Robyn. Because remember when Candiace first becoming friends, so it seemed to be set up big. Yes, and we can have a whole other conversation about that, because that was a major catalyst in honestly where they are right now. Hey, Shattered the Glass. Thank you. I like to think I'm hitting on something. I like to think somebody hears me, because the other conversations I see on Facebook, on Twitter, on all these platforms is insane, y'all. Oh, and speaking of Twitter, I'm streaming to Twitter right now. If I don't know who all is in here from Twitter, but please make sure you come on over here to YouTube and subscribe as well, please, and thank you. BarbMeetsWorld. Yeah. Hey, cousin. See, I done talked you up. Oh my God, wait, Kenny, what did you say? Swallowing the sperm of a serial cheater and admitting it is. Let me star this. That is probably one of the most wildest things on the show as well. That's next level, actually. Because even putting, not even just swallowing it, putting that body part into your mouth after it's been the Lord knows where. And Robyn gives me, she don't even wash it off. Like, she don't even ask him to take a shower. She don't ask him to change his dress. Like, he looked like he decided that just stand in front of her, whip it out, and she just goes to work and no questions asked. Am I lying? I don't think I am. As soon as that last boy turned 18, Juan out the door on his birthday. He's avoiding child support. Oh, good. I'm gonna start this too, because that's a good point too. And the ratings going with the Always in the gutter, Sean. They stay in the pit. See, y'all. This is why me and y'all are here. That's exactly what was assigned from the universe. Yes, it was. The gut feelings, the intuition, all of that. She's a human, so I know she gets those feelings, because they're not even voluntary, they're involuntary. It just happens. So you're just ignoring your natural intuition on stuff, and mind-boggling. He can't support her because he's hanging out with Mike. Oh my God. Yeah, stop it. Yes. He did respect her by telling the world she wasn't bathing and being. Yes. Because he doesn't speak from a place of support. He speaks from a place of, like, I'm just looking at her. She's just so pitiful. She just ugh. Like, no type of, she arouses me, no type of nothing. Just I mean, it's a long time he was sick of this. Yes. Because I wish they would catch him on a hot mic, like for real. I wish they would catch him on a hot mic, like a Joe Giudice, when he said, look at my bitch wife front of her, she's such a bitch. Like, I wish they would catch him on a hot mic like that, because the things that he probably be thinking about that lady, but he at least has enough sense to not let slip out for the most part, has to be off the wall, y'all. He don't like that lady. He been told all of us that he's sick of her, right? He's slaying more tea than Pastor slinging tea. Oh, see, I can't with y'all. Juan looked like he be stinking. He just like that. Yeah, like I feel like somebody in that house, some bodies in that house have no issue doing the sniff test. That's all I'm gonna say. The sniff, I don't know, and I'm sure y'all don't actually know, but I'm sure you guys have heard of people doing the old, all right, smells good enough. Let me put it on. Like, a couple of them in that household give me, yeah, smells good enough. I'll wear it. Like, that's how nasty it was. I just Rob swallows. Jay's drinking the Kool-Aid, literally. I'm done with y'all. I'm done. What was the next part? Karen. Karen speaks on being a fence and making things right, doing the Lord's work. We know that Karen was. If it wasn't for Karen holding everybody on her back, this whole cast, the whole season, everybody on that triple 20 back this season, like, where would we have been? We wouldn't even got the 2% of entertainment that we got this season if it wasn't for Karen. Like, geez. Andy then asks Gizelle about how she blamed Candiace for the threats she received and why she didn't confront her. Gizelle really parted her lips, y'all, to say, did you guys catch it? When she said she was told that she was going to be talked to. NBC, bravo. Show me that y'all favor Gizelle without showing me y'all favor Gizelle. Because why would this woman even think for a second that that Candiace was going to be told anything? When she clearly is somebody that's never told anything about herself from the network. Because if they did, again, we would not be in the trenches right now. Like, when Chris was losing jobs and all of that, like, his name was being discredited. We're not gonna. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, and Candiace trying to attribute Gizelle trying to attribute Candiace making mention of, the color of her skin last year as the reason why she was receiving said threats, when in all actuality, it's not her skin that has anything to do with those threats. It's her actions that directly influence her receiving said threats. Her skin tone only has to do with her getting the preferential treatment. Aneka, why was she up on the stage? Why was she even they could have called her out when it was time to talk about her stuff, because honestly, in the way that they were even displaying the camera, the way that the camera was focused on them, it wasn't even focused. She wasn't even in the shot most of the time. And also Ashley wasn't in the shot. So I'll let y'all marinate on what that means as well. But I bring up Aneka because I think Andy really had the audacity to ask her for her legal expertise. When have we seen her practice law at any point during the season for real? And last time I checked, she's not even a criminal attorney. So fuck anything she has to say. I'd much rather ask Wendy. Like, Wendy could. Wendy could sell me a $4 bill and I'd be like, you know what? Oh, this is what they're doing now? Cool. Give me those $4 bills. I trust her expertise on things, and she doesn't have the law degree, but at least I've seen some of the fruits of her labor of her degrees and stuff and whatever she got going on. And Aneka hasn't shown us a damn thing. Just because you have a degree, but have you actually practiced law? Like, you could be a teacher, but have you ever taught? Yes, thank you. I wish we did get a triple 20 party. If you guys aren't following the Grand Dame on YouTube, apparently, I need to go follow her. Actually, she has a new YouTube channel. She's going to be dropping a triple 20 vlog, I think. So be on the lookout for that if you guys care to see it, because we didn't get it this season. So, yeah. Juan is no longer Hein, balding and jobless. The only appeal is that they both only wash their... See, corner. Oh, yeah. We don't care. In the Peacock version, I don't know if this was in the Bravo version. I want to say that she said he's coaching at their oldest son's basketball varsity team or whatever. That's what he's doing right now. He's volunteer coaching at their at his basketball team or whatever, because it feeds his soul. It's his passion. I was like, one of his passions. His other passion is fucking everybody but you. Yeah, like, I'm going to assume the people that were supposed to talk to her are the same people that were supposed to talk to Gizelle seasons ago. That should have intervened seasons ago. That's the real conversation that needs to occur. Yeah, I don't believe that, but you mean the lawyer that they didn't ask legal questions to? Only for her to then say that the claims that Gizelle made, the statements she made, I should say, weren't in line with SA. But last time I checked, last season, Gizelle's the same person that said that Deborah's that said that Chris grabbed Deborah's butt, which yeah, also don't have a law degree over here. I got a couple, but they're not law degrees. That is definitely SA. So and I really wanted Candiace to bring that up, but it's just so many examples of Gizelle and her bullshit that unfortunately I think that one slipped through the cracks. But I feel like that if she would have said that, there's no that's undeniable. And if they would have been up there and that would have been brought up and they would have tried to deny that, they being Gizelle, I probably would have broke my TV. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I probably would have broke my TV, because are you serious? Are you serious right now? And again, all Gizelle took accountability for was the sneaky link comment, and that was beside the point. You're a big ass liar. Oh, that just cracks me up when Candiace says things like that. It's the name calling time. Goodbye. Oh my goodness. So another enjoyable part though, y'all, was when Andy segued things to Karen and Robyn, and they said 3 nice things about each other. Didn't really care about that part, but what I did care about is how Robyn thought that she was going to get some type of sympathy, support, whatever from Karen, when this is the same person that, again, you poke fun at every chance you get, unprovoked, which really is kind of weird to me. And I feel like it's only because Karen is Juan's type. We actually figured that out a couple of seasons ago, so it gives like you must be like jealous or feel some type of way. I guess that's what it is, because you always coming at Karen's neck is really odd to me. Robyn tries to use this moment to ask Karen if she'd be okay with a friend talking to social media and Watch What Happens Live to say that they were in cahoots with other people to plot on her husband to cover up for yours. Would you be okay with that? I don't really understand what, again, Robyn was expecting from Karen when you've actually played that same role you're playing right now. You've played towards Karen. And it may not been wrapped up in the same exact package, but you definitely have came at Karen with the same type of heat before. So in this moment, you're looking real stupid, because I would have said exactly what Karen said. Like, hey, this has been done before. You know, I've definitely been put in this place before, but because I prioritize the health of the show, I just keep it moving, keep it cute, and continue to play nice with y'all. Something that you, Robyn, don't do, because even if things occurred the way they did in your mind, you're still not moving forward and prioritizing the health of the show. When in all actuality, the only people that I feel like I understand if they didn't want to prioritize the health of the show are Candiace, Wendy, Karen. Am I forgetting anybody? TikTok. No, I don't think I am. Those are the only people that I can honestly say I'd understand if you don't want to really find it in your heart at this moment to move forward. And maybe that's why Candiace did decide to officially leave the show deep down inside, because I'm the person that's been wronged time and time again. Also, my husband's been brought into it, which when Candiace is trying to express to Robyn her hurt and all this stuff, it's not just about Candiace, it's also about Chris as well, because he was put in the line of fire as well, and he ain't even a housewife. And I love how Karen brought up the boombox of it all, because somehow we always forget that, again, this side is always throwing the first, or casting the first stone, I should say. So Robyn not being okay in this moment with being the recipient of whatever is literally the same thing can be said on this side. That's why Candiace is letting it be known every 5 seconds that she also doesn't appreciate being the recipient of such attacks. He's a oh my God, I can't. Is Gizelle young boyfriend coming? Nope. And where is Champagne, Charisse? No, Charisse is not there. And yeah, exactly. This is your boy toy, or whatever you want to talk about all season. We had to see him for whatever reason. Where's he at? He live in a phone too, Gizelle? Huh? He does he live in a okay. No, it's a fake relationship. Karen has nothing to give you, Roger. You're the one who dressed up like the pizza man. Yes. And if you want to see that picture again, please check out my cousin's review as well, because she did a really, really good review this morning of this episode. Thank you. As emotional as Candiace is, Robbie and Gizelle can't get past anything. They're the most sensitive people in the cast. Yes, because as soon as somebody tells Gizelle about herself, because usually that's where everything is rooted in, she immediately sits up there like feeling some type of way every single time, which is why she is so upset based on how things went down at last reunion, because she was made to look like the fool or the mean girl, or however you want to put it, when I don't feel like any lies were told. You sit up there and you guys know the rest of what Candiace said. Trying to act unbothered while preying on people's downfalls. For real, that's what it gave. Every time she laughed, laughed and like she was like scoffing and she just seems like somebody who has a lot of mean, dark energy pent up inside of her. And if I don't even think I would want to sit on the same stage as her, because I would have crystals all underneath my garments, because stay away from me. Like she said, the goalpost keeps moving. That's not fair. Don't even bring my husband into it. That's always going to end bad, especially Gizelle. You don't have one husband. No lies told. That man doesn't play for Gizelle's team. That's what I've heard, actually. That's what I heard. So either way, that's not really your man like you say is your man. We're not going to see that young boy. He was a white lady making babies. See? So based on either this comment or this comment, y'all can already tell he don't see it for that relationship between him and Gizelle, period. The most judgmental green-eyed bandits. It's easy to believe Robert Romero Dixon would do this because it's her character. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know why I'm even surprised a lot of the times. It's honestly really just, maybe it's just me thinking that the network would intervene at some moment by now, but even with that, I guess I shouldn't really expect different, right? This has been a ship that's going in the wrong direction for quite some time now, even beyond just this season. So I feel the same way. I genuinely do. Or, you know, the other thing that like Robyn in particular likes to do when she's called out on some ish or whatever, or when she's called to the carpet to talk about her life, you know, she does that, oh my gosh, you know, she does that whole, you know, she did in Austin, or I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here. Like, she does all that. Her and Gizelle, they have ways to shift the blame or shift the focus. They have these little actions that they do that it's season 8. We're on to you guys. Come with something new, please. So the last thing really, because I just went all over pretty much. How are we over? We're already over an hour. Oh my gosh, let me stop. I'm going to change the title to rant probably, because that's kind of what this was giving. The only other thing, y'all, was they break for lunch. We get this really cringy moment between Mia's on the phone with that guy, and G's also in her dressing room or whatever, and G like literally says hi to him, and they like, oh, it's you and that black, and oh yeah, gotta represent. It's just like, whoa, like, okay, Mia, what? Okay. Which I don't know if I said this before. Mia's living in a small penthouse in DC at this moment, and G is living in an apartment in Charlotte, but he's going to be relocating to across the street from her. So there's that. And we also get into just a sliver of what they've got going on in their crumbling marriage. And by that, I mean Wendy, because Wendy during this scene, y'all, didn't really say too much, except for, actually, I want to ask you guys a question real quick, going back. When Wendy said to Candiace, what are you gonna, if she takes accountability, however she put it, when she asked Candiace about what she was going to be taking accountability for in that moment, did you guys feel like that was not cool of Wendy to ask, or like, girl, whose side are you on? Or did you understand why she was asking that? I wanted to think that Wendy in that moment was just trying to move things along, because we were obviously at a standstill and that side wasn't budging. I want to say she was doing it for the betterment of the situation, But I do know that a couple people expressed they didn't really care for Wendy asking that question to Candiace in that moment, because it's just like, girl, like you know why they're saying the stuff they're saying. Why should she be the first one to talk about accountability or taking accountability? Just something for you guys to think about or answer in the comments also after this live. I understood why she said what she said. She was trying to move it along and get Candiace. Yeah, that's literally that's literally how I took it. But again, I kind of understand why people are like, whatever. So again, we leave off with Wendy speaking up, because she didn't have too many speaking parts by this point, y'all. She speaks up to say, you know, I'm just telling you full disclosure, because I don't know who G's been talking to, but I do know one of the things that he said is that Ink came to your house and tried to take Jeremiah because he believes that that is his son. And everybody's like, oh, 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 oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Clearly these pictures are not, that picture's not from that moment, but everybody was like taking it back when she asked that. And Mia, actually, we do get her answer, which is, you know, yes, he does. And that's where we end things off. I don't know where I got this from, but I have in my notes that somebody somewhere at some point, I guess, made mention of, because we see Gordon, the preview we see for next week is Gordon saying like, oh, I don't know if you guys, he dropped some bomb on them or whatever. And then I think Mia was even wiping some tears too. So I think some people said that we think that he's going to reveal that he's sick, maybe. What do you guys think that G's going to reveal next week in that segment or whatever? Like, what do you think he's going to say? I don't care that Wendy asked that. We always say hold your friend accountable. Yeah, I don't think she meant anything malicious by it. I don't. Also, Wendy was probably setting them 304s up if Candiace is taking responsibility and being the bigger person, and they won't. It shows them that them heifers are childish and won't grow. Yes, I feel like in that moment she was also doing that. I feel like Karen did that a couple times during this episode. And y'all, I forgot to mention this, but another major part of what pissed me the fuck off in this part was, I feel like due to the seriousness of this conversation being the whole Gizelle, Candiace, and all of that, all the meat that we really got during this episode, I was really upset that the other ladies, Aneka, Mia especially, and Ashley especially, I'm really upset that they were even on the stage, because their ad libs and all that, oh yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day, and oh, progress, and are you gonna accept that, Candiace? Like, all those comments were completely unnecessary, and I feel like they kind of almost trivialize the seriousness of this conversation, because no, it's not just going to be easy breezy, we're good, we're moving on, oh cool, let bygones be bygones. It was bringing down the seriousness of the conversation for me. So I genuinely would have appreciated just seeing Candiace and Gizelle out there, maybe. And whatever happens, happens. Because we know that Robyn's always going to jump to Gizelle's defense, which we saw a couple times in this episode, which I was... every time that happened. And again, all the other ladies throwing their comments in was unnecessary. Because this is some serious shit. Okay. Maybe Kenny thinks maybe they found out Ink is the father. CC thinks, I think his cancer came back. I hope not either. I genuinely, no, the jury's out. I'm pretty sure, honestly. Ink looks like he's gonna. Oh gosh. Oh, not Dragger. Sweet that picture. That's my favorite picture of her this season. I have it saved in here for a rainy day. That's just, it warms my soul. Seeing her look like I don't even know what she looks like in that picture. It's just, why do you look like that? Ashley was breaking my nerves. Other than causing issues between Wendy and Neckbone, why is football head there? Ashley 5 had always worked my nerves. Yeah, like I genuinely didn't need them on the stage during that conversation. I hated it. But I want to say, y'all, for the most part, I think I covered all the major points that really chapped my booty. And wow, there's 37 of you guys in here. I think I seen the number get up to 40 at one point. Between I assume, is that just in here, or I think that's adding is that adding the people on Twitter as well? I don't know. If you guys did catching it on Twitter, please again come on over here to the YouTube of it all, and don't forget to subscribe, please, y'all. It really, really, really is super appreciated. You have no idea. Also, don't forget to like this video, please. The algorithm has been favoring me lately, and I want to see that continue. So please, please, please go ahead and do that. I appreciated all of these comments from my YouTube family, all up in these comments. Like, I appreciate y'all for real, for real, for real. I'm actually going to go back because I know I missed some comments. Y'all was in here cutting up as usual. So I'm actually going to go back and read some of these when I get off of here. But yeah, I've accidentally been running my trap for almost an hour and a half. So I'm going to let y'all go or whatever. And again, let's keep this conversation going in the comments below. I know that you guys probably have a lot to say, just like I had a lot to say about this episode. Please, please, please don't forget to put your thoughts, opinions in the comments below. And yeah, we'll be back at it again for part 2 next week, unfortunately. And after this, I can't promise you that we'll be talking about it again next season. I can't, if I'm just being honest. That's not even an April Fool's joke. I'm being honest. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Where's my outro?